All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Nick Lasorsa with Alfred the Wolfman.
Yep.
Best pro shop out of Bolero Wheat Ridge. Bowled real good. With any carry at all, you'd be a stud.
I know.
But we're gonna have to talk about your equipment, I think. Anyway, we are here for our top 8 finals format here at Bolero Wheat Ridge, just west of Denver. And of course, we had a tie to start things off, folks. We had a tie for 8th, which means we had to have a one-game roll-off with Joe Stepniak, Mr. Tie, against Daniel Wynn. And Joe struck out in the 10th frame to advance, become the 8th-seeded player. So Joe is now taking on the 3rd-seeded player, Steve Dudek. These guys have met many, many, many times. And because they've both been in the club over 20 years, so they've hooked up on a number of occasions. And then, let's see, then we go 7 and 8. We got Chris Woolsey, our 4th seed, taking on Jeffrey Metz, our 7th seed. And on 9 and 10, we have Brandon Von Kam, our 5th seed, taking on Lance Richard, our 6th seed. Actually, the handicaps really aren't that much. I think Chris is spotting Jeffrey 19. Other than that, they're not bad.
Yeah, you got the two guys with the most bowling each other, and then the two with the lowest bowling each other, and the middle guys.
There's a 19-pin difference there. There's only a 5-pin difference between Lance and Brandon, and 4-pin difference between Joe and Steve. So, pretty cool. So the 3 bowlers that fail to advance will get $150 each. Then we move into the Megapot money.
I got to bowl with Chris one of the times, and he has a pretty good look on this.
Yeah. I would believe it's very hard, as I believe it is for you sometimes, to not overpower the ball.
Yeah.
Chris has a tendency to do that, especially when he gets pumped up. He's a big guy.
Yeah. Quite a bit smaller guy as of now. But
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's been, walking and changed his diet, doesn't drink Diet Pop anymore. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Get out of there, all right.
It's a break.
Yeah, but he feels great. He, and realistically, guys that are built like that, I call them big bone because they're tall and they're fairly put together.
Mm-hmm.
They carry their weight well, as do you. I mean, he might have been 280 and never looked 280.
Yeah.
You know. But I tell you what, ever since he's been doing that, though, when he's gotten his, because you do lose a little muscular strength in the beginning when you're trying to, not eat certain things and all that stuff. But now that he's got into that rhythm of the right foods and not eating or drinking stuff that he shouldn't and doing his walking, his, he's got his strength back, and he has been throwing the ball really well since he's been doing this. So
I think it's a little tough to get used to the balance.
Yeah,
like you're just
of course. Look at this.
4-9.
Good shot, Brandon.
9.
Takes out the 4-9. No. And he almost came back and took out the 6-7-10. Pretty cool. Well, happy Mother's Day, everybody out there. Tournament really doesn't affect us that much, or this holiday doesn't really affect us that much because of our ladies that like to bowl. And the guys have figured it out. They either take them out on Saturday where they don't have to wait 3 hours for a restaurant, or they do the early morning brunch. And the one that is fabulous that a lot of people aren't aware of, the White Buffalo up in Black Hawk.
Yeah.
I got to think of the name of the casino. Central Station owns it, but anyway, 5-star restaurant, and they have a Sunday brunch that is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. There's a couple good ones around town for sure.
Oh, the Lodge. There.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really good.
I think of all the ones I've been to, the one at Red Rocks is really good. They only do it for Mother's Day and Easter.
Okay.
But it's in that whole convention
Sure.
space they have.
Oh.
4-9 again.
Wow.
See if he can make it.
Why not? There comes Stevie. A typical.
Yeah.
I think they're related somehow.
Well, let's just hope one of them pulls away.
Yes, just one.
Because if Stepniak's involved.
Anything can happen. We could be here till midnight. We'll have to order out. Ooh, ow. Baby split.
4-9 does not get made again.
No. So right now, Jeffrey is tied with Chris Scratch. So he's up 19. No, Lance. Lance is grinding. Open, spare, split, split. Not a good way to start, especially against Brandon.
No, Brandon, I've noticed he's staying down in his shot. He's definitely looking better.
Yeah.
Been putting some time
He's
in.
got a lot of guys that have helped him. The problem is, it's like when you're in a hitting slump.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to give you advice, and it just winds up jacking him up.
Yeah.
So now he's relied on probably, I would guess, either John Gwynn or, somebody like that.
Yeah.
That he respects, that, and it knows the game. But if, like you said, if you look at him, he's down. He's getting through the ball really nice. There we go.
You can always tell when someone's putting in time because they don't overreact to bad shots. Because when you're putting in time, you throw a lot of them.
Yeah, of course. No, but you do.
Yeah.
You see everything. You've done everything.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, Joe's got 16 titles. But what I tell people, and they don't remember, he started out with 6 second place finishes. Guys would have to strike out to beat him by a pin, they would. Crap like that. Or he would have to mark, and he'd leave a 7-10 or a 4-9. Unbelievable. And then once he got the first one under his belt, and he's always been a tough match play bowler because he's not going to give you anything.
Yeah.
You have to beat Joe. He's going to come back at you like a pit bull. So
I think he hears us talking about that tie. He's really pulling away with that one right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Pogie says hi.
Okay. Pogie! I'm sure, Pogie, that Nolan has taken his lovely wife Michelle out to some dining extravaganza. It won't be a drive-through. I know that Michelle and her daughter went out to brunch this morning, so I'm sure that Nolan and Michelle are going to do something for dinner tonight. Harry?
It's interesting, like, if you watch the semis, the last game of semis, the balls, everybody just started leaving some really bad breaks. And I think what's happening is the ball's not hooking anymore because it's hooking where you don't really see it, like on the first 20 feet. Like that shot there on Fresh, that would have probably hooked through the head pin.
What Dwayne Mellinger told me last night when you guys were bowling, he was pretty much playing second hour.
Yeah.
And he was grinding. He wasn't bowling bad, but he couldn't get anything together.
Yeah.
So either game 3 or game 4, he goes right.
Yeah,
and
outside
he's playing
the track
outside.
area. Yeah.
And he said the ball hooked at like 15 feet.
Yeah.
And he went, ooh. So now you're going, okay, if I'm going to play there, I gotta bring urethane or something like that. But then when you get down the lane, what's down the lane?
Yep.
That you have to deal with. So he said it was interesting, and I didn't expect to see that when I was looking at the pattern.
Yeah.
Joe, all of a sudden, has decided he doesn't like Steve Dudek.
No.
Lance
He had a warm-up
Richard.
game. It's not.
Yeah.
He's got the advantage.
Really. And Woolsey needs, Jeffrey just opened back-to-back. Chris needs to get back in this. Sit. Couldn't get the 10 out. Good shot by Chris. 2. He's up a few pins. Chris Woolsey. He's closed the gap with the handicap. And Lance is in trouble against Brandon. He just does not look comfortable.
He will be the last lefty to survive, though.
Yeah.
And the left-handed house here, as people like to say.
Yeah, well, you know, years ago, Lefty Wonderland used to be Celebrity Sports Center. I mean, it was. I'll never forget. I had a Memorial Day tournament there in the late '80s, and this was when we just had the Classic division. We had 300 and some entries, and the top 12 bowlers were left-handed. Then I had one righty, and another 3 or 4 were left-handed. It was unbelievable. The carry was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like they had this, and the righties had this, but yet they all got to the pocket. It was the most incredible thing I ever saw. All right, so Chris makes a spare. 104 in the 6th. So he's up 21, spotting 19. 2-pin lead. And all right, here comes our Dudek. He can max out a 214 scratch. Force Joe to show up. Of course, Joe did that during the tiebreaker, of course.
Yeah.
All right, so Brandon is kind of hanging in there. And, he had 2 shots at knocking that 10 down.
There was a $2.99 on the PWBA. I think it's on the PWBA Instagram account. She slid the 10-pin over to about the 9-pin position for $2.99.
Oh.
That reminded me of it. It's a little wobbly pin.
Yeah.
Basically hit the side of the 6 hit the side of it and just slid it straight left.
Nice ball. That was one of the best shots he's thrown, Brandon Honka. And look at this. Look at this.
Noticing that a lot, other than Brandon, everybody's really tilting the ball. And it might be just their natural way of throwing it.
Yeah, well, and you talked about that when you got here. You said, what is it with all these guys?
Yeah.
And
Oh
my God. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why most of these guys hate Bowling Joe Stepney.
Yeah.
He will throw the
gets the
god-awfulest ball and carry, and then he looks at you like, what do you mean?
He needs this one to lock him out. If
Lance leaves a 4-count.
Oh, that's like the that's
major.
the 4 count.
Yeah, well, that's the Popovich. That's what I call
Joe
that.
gets this one. This one's over, and he does.
Yep.
So,
Well, of course.
yeah.
Unbelievable. That gives him the match.
Yes.
Incredible.
I think
Look at this. Ooh, what a great try by Lance Richard.
I think he technically needs a few pins, but
Yeah. Of course, Steve's going to punch anyway,
yeah.
just to keep him honest. But and Joe will be able to tell you because he has everything. Every game he's bowled since he was born. He'll know how many times he's bowled Dudek in the finals. He'll know how many times he's won, how many times Steve's won.
Yeah.
But it's no big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so Steve Dudek could shoot 2-0. Stepniak's going to go 225, 253 with handicap and advance. Steve will go home tied for 6, make $150.
Oh, no, that
look
did
at
not hook at
this.
all.
32 in the eighth to 107. 25, he's up 6, but boy, he could have just about taken him out completely. And Brandon is easily going to win his match against Lance Richard, who is our defending champion, by the way.
Brandon or Lance?
Brandon.
Nice.
I mean, I'm sorry, Lance Richard. He won last week at Rappo. He needed 8 in his fill ball to win against Barry Powell, and he got a strike. Win by 2 pins. Chris Woolsey, 9th frame. Big shot. Big shot. That's huge.
He gone. You're going to get to see Nick on a camera, I think. Yep. Oh, he's getting his clipboard. He just saw it. Oh, I don't think Brandon needed that, but looks like Brandon's got that one in control,
Yeah,
and then Chris and Jeff. I mean, there's a chance it could go one way or the other,
Sure.
but Chris is looking okay.
Yeah. That strike in the 9th foundation frame, that's huge. Gives him a lot of options going into the 10th.
Jeff can get the first 2 here. He'll make him think about it.
Well, there's one.
Yeah.
So he can max out at 57.
You always just want to put the other guy up there
99.
so that if he doesn't get a strike, he doesn't win.
Yeah. Okay, good shot.
And if he gets this one and good count, Chris will need the first one. Oh.
Ooh. All right, so we got 140, possible 147 and 42 for 189. And Chris just needs a mark for 190.
Yep.
So, yeah, he forced him to mark, so anything's possible. Okay, so 147 for Jeffrey. Okay, 3-6-10. All kinds of fun ways to mess that one.
Yeah, no
chop
kidding.
it.
Needs to make it too.
Yep. Okay, so what do we got? 131 for Lance with 40 for 171. And Brandon's already got that beat, so Lance is done.
He's going to hook at it here. Better hope it just doesn't overhook. Oh. I think that makes up for the 8th frame where he didn't hook it enough to get the 3 pins.
Exactly.
So. All right, anything more than 4 here, Nick?
Yep. I like his chances.
I don't know that he hooks it enough to leave the 4 that Lance left.
No. No, there won't be a Popovich on this shot.
Yeah. All right.
The bottom 3 seeds are going. You don't see that too often. Okay, so Brandon shoots 170.
Do they go in order? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So Brandon advances. Joe Stepniak advances. And Chris Woolsey advances. So Brendan Guthner is going to step in. He'll take on the lowest remaining seeded player, which is Brandon Von Kam. We'll get that set up, and we'll be back here in just a minute, folks. Again, you're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour Denver branch. We're here at Bolero Wheat Ridge, just west of Denver. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Sorsa here with Al Wolf. We're at Bolero Wheat Ridge. I keep saying Bolero Wheat Ridge for round two. And Brendan Guthner, our second seed from Evergreen, has come in, and he's going to bowl the lowest remaining seeded player after the first round, which is Brandon Von Kam, who happens to be our fifth seeded player, but 6th, 7th, and 8th all lost. And Brandon's going to lead the match. Shake hands. He is our seeded player. He will lead. He's going to spot Brandon 14. And down on lanes 9 and 10, we got Chris Woolsey, our fourth seeded player, taking on our, I forgot, Joe's still alive. See, I'm trying to get rid of him. Joe Stepniak. And Chris is going to lead. And shake hands and rock and roll. Hold on. Cut. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got the seeds wrong.
Okay.
My fault. That's my fault. Sorry. Okay.
Last minute save there.
Well, the other one's right. It is him.
Oh, now they're spilling beers.
Joe,
Okay, now I want to play him.
you're gonna get out. You're gonna be on lane 6. Yes, sir.
Uh,
I'm not going there. And Chris, you stay there, and you're gonna take on Brandon. Sorry, guys. At least I caught it before it was too late. Better to be. Better to make the stupidity. Joe just bolted. Well, I know. I can't. Nothing you can do about it. 1. All right, we're here for round 2. Brendan Guthner is taking on Joe Stepniak, who is the lowest remaining seeded player. Brendan's going to lead the match, and he's getting 3 pins from Joe. That's 1 pin for every 10 years, Joe, I think. I could be wrong, but then on the other pair, we got Chris Woolsey taking on Brandon Vonkamp, and he's spotting Brandon 22. All right, winner of these 2 matches bowl each other, and then the one person left is going to take on our tournament leader, Isaac Hernandez, out of Commerce City. Isaac bowled really well this weekend. The difference is that he carried and you didn't.
Yes.
But you both threw the ball very well.
Yeah.
But that happens.
That's bowling.
Yep, it is. All right, so. Can't pick up the 1-2-4, so Chris is open. And Joe. Okay, 9 count. All right, whoever does not advance this round, each bowler, I believe, 160, 175, 335, I believe. I don't have all my papers with me, but that's not bad for tie for 4th. Wow, he really gave that room. Brandon was out at the twig at about 45 feet. It came back, and I just left the 1-2. Very fortunate just to do that. Joe, strike. Ooh, lucky. He's a 6.
It's always better when you can not throw great shots and kind of learn your way through it, make your spares. Brandon gets the trip 6 there, a little on the wrong side, but he did warm up on 1 and 2, which is the most hooking pair in the building, so got to figure out 5 and 6 here. Chris, who is giving 22 pins down there, has got to already play a little catch-up scratch. And that's the best way to do it. Chris gets fortunate in the 3rd for a double, as does Joe. So currently we have both of the players with higher handicaps in the lead. Joe's got it figured out now. If you haven't noticed, it's just me. Nick had to step away and do one of the 5 things that he's currently working on. Scott might throw on the extra set of headphones and join us. Brandon's staying pretty clean down there. He's got a little 4-pin to clean up here and stay alive in that one. Oh, Brennan threw an okay shot. And he gets the carry. That's the front 4 for Brennan.
Strike fest.
Yes.
Brendan Guthner is going, look what I found, Elsie.
Yeah, see, you only saw that one. Everybody that's watching got to see all the other ones, too.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, folks. I'm in and out. I'm shorthanded. One of my floor directors, unfortunately, his mother's in hospice care and had to go. And that's Matt Brungart. Thoughts and prayers is with his mom.
There we go.
All
Brandon's
right.
back online down there.
Chris, open double.
Oh,
Maybe. Nope. Got lucky. All right.
so I think
No 300 this game.
yeah, he practiced on 1 and 2, which had
It is different,
few
yes.
short. It's a few games short, so the middle of the lane has oil more than these do.
Yeah.
But it does hook more overall, so you kind of get this. You know, the mid lane pushes a little better. I think he's kind of
Confused.
seeing his way through that.
Yeah.
He got lucky and carried the first 3 that way. So
All right. That was a good shot by Chris Woolsey. Did he get it? Yes. Trips to 7 out for a 3-bagger.
I think I've probably bowled 100 or so games in this building, and 80 of them are on 1 and 2 because it's the
of
pair
course.
that's always open
Yeah,
right in front of the shop.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know. I never kept score on 1 and 2 until today. I'm not very good on it, apparently.
It's the 2 lanes play differently,
Yeah.
and they always have. In fact, they were so bad when I was the general manager here in the mid-'80s. I had 2 Coors leagues on Wednesday night, took the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
Coors 1 were the shooters. Coors 2 was more of mixed handicap, have a good time. I had a lot of good players, a couple Hall of Famers actually. Boyd Hayden, Bill Kramer bowled Coors 1. And they, I'd go through, how you doing? I was introducing myself. How do you like the shot? Blah, blah, blah. And 1 and 2 were driving these guys crazy. And I said, okay, well, let's check it out. Lane 1, you could not wrinkle a ball.
Yeah.
Lane 2 to 40 played the same. So I said, wow. I said, well, it's fall, winter. I said, well, maybe the cold wall has a lot to do with it. So I said, and I'm talking to the guys, and I'm explaining it to them. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to, next week, don't tell anybody else because I started league officers. I'm oiling 2 to 40. I'm just going to leave lane 1 alone because we oil in the morning, then we come back and we would do a 10 to 10 overlay back then for the leagues. And I'm not going to touch it. And lane 1 still played tighter than the rest of the house.
It's crazy.
So now I'm looking at the guys and I'm going, okay, now what do we do? Okay? For a joke, and it wasn't during league because I would never do it. I oiled 2 to 40. And I didn't oil lane 1 at all. And then it hooked.
Yeah, finally.
That was it. But then, as the temperature got warmer, the difference between the 2 lanes got less and less.
Yeah.
But normally now, of course, a lot of things have changed. Oils have changed, all that stuff. Lane 1 will still play at least 2 boards tighter than the rest of the house.
I've always just been under the opinion that 1 and 2 are the first installed.
Yeah.
So they work out all the kinks.
And most times 1 and 2 are the first
They
conditioned.
Yeah.
So there are differences, yes.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting back then. We got a big kick out of that. And they were great. I had 7 Coors leagues here when I took the center over.
Yeah.
And they were fabulous. Great group of men and women. And then I even had the Coors Porcelain League with the kegs, made the kegs and all that stuff. They came in both Thursday
I
night.
think that's Course Tech now.
Yeah, of course, Tech now, yeah. But, yeah, they were a lot of fun.
I think they still have a ball league here. Ball the like mason jars and cans.
Oh, okay. All right.
Aerospace
Yeah.
as well.
Sit. Okay, got lucky. Leaves 6-10.
You were ready to go there, Joe.
5, he's down, 27 scratch. And he's spotting him a few. 3 pins. So he's down 30. With 4 frames ago. Yeah, let's see, what do we got over here? Chris Woolsey, 118 in the 5th with a spare, going up in the 7th frame. Of course, Brandon's got a 3-bagger going, so that's going to get closer. Oh, come on.
Gosh.
He left an Al Wolf, folks.
That's
Oh, that's horrible.
I think I left one that I was like, okay, that makes sense. The ball
Okay, yeah.
gave up a little bit, but
That one ball I saw you throw last night. I mean, I'm going, you can't throw the ball any better.
yeah.
Just can't.
Like there's this instinctive desire to make moves when you leave pins in the back row, and you just leave. Sometimes you leave them, and you're like, I don't think I should do anything.
No.
Oh no.
Wow, flag's an 8. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Because he's spotting them 22 pins.
Solid 22.
Yeah, no problem for Joe. And, folks, our last 2 matches will be right here on 7 and 8 in between the 2 pairs we currently got going. And the winner of these 2 matches will bowl each other on 7 and 8, and then the survivor, so to speak, will take on our tournament leader, Isaac Hernandez. And for those of you wondering, we are bowling on one of the new PBA patterns. This one is Marshall Holman, which is 41 feet. Little different.
Yeah, it's
Little different.
41 feet, 30 mils, so there's a lot of oil and that little bit of space. We're about probably 9 to 10 games into it here.
Right.
You're going to see a little bit of the breakdown.
Yeah, he chops the 6 off the 10.
Just like that. It's back to the
Basically,
20 pins they came in with.
There we go. This is somewhat close.
With a strike here, I think it's 8 scratch. He was shearing off his hand.
Right. All right.
I didn't do that a lot. I knew I did it.
So Brandon's up 11. Both on a strike 2 frames ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that did not look good off his hand.
No.
4, 6, 7.
I mean,
he's going to go back-to-back opens, and he's still there.
Still ahead a little bit.
Sure. Next week we're back at AMF Littleton and completely remodeled now. They're just about done.
Yeah.
It is a dramatic change. Have you been in there since?
I have not.
They got the video wall above the masking units now.
They got rid of I'm guessing the paint on the sidewalls, the graffiti almost.
Probably,
yeah. It's similar to these here.
I really didn't. All the wood, the wood floors all the way through the settee area and out in the back, which I don't think is very smart. But
I've heard from a couple people, and the bathrooms in Bolero centers are kind of slowly getting improved, but the ones there are about as good as you can get for any establishment.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Boy, he needed that for a look at a both bowlers double.
Yeah.
Still 11 pin difference. Joe can take the lead by 1. No, he'll be within 1 if he throws first 1 in the 10th.
Just a 3 pin difference there.
Yeah.
To Brendan.
Chris Woolsey struck in the 8th when Brandon opened. And folks, he needs the double here would be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And he almost needs it. All right, Joe leaves the 3-6-10. And will he get it? Beautiful, boy. He liked it off his hand. Great shot. So he's got a double going into the 10th. Brandon will finish first. So he can max out at 213. And Chris can max out at 236.
Yep. So
And which means
can't
he
lock him
basically
out.
has to match,
Yep.
pretty much match whatever Brandon does. That's going to go right down to the wire. And Joe Stubniak, 224 with a fill ball. Brendan Guthner, 225 if he maxes. And if he does that, he'll beat him by 3 pins. So, I mean, both matches are extremely close. Ooh, he can't get to 10. All right, make the spare. Boom.
All right.
Okay, 224 for Joe. 249.
I think your math was a little off.
Oh,
You can
sorry.
get to 245.
28. Yeah, my fault.
Not that math. Brendan can get to
Oh,
48.
really? Okay. 73 can go 203 and 45 for 248. Absolutely right. Yeah, my mistake. In any event, a double in the 10th would really help. Okay,
Anything
Brendan Guthner.
makeable is good here.
Yep.
Oh.
Ooh, almost leaves a 4-9, but kicks a 4-pin forward.
Yep.
So if he goes spare strike, he'll shoot 234 scratch, and that'll be enough. Yeah, he needs just to make this.
Yes, he is correct. It is over. He's already winning by a pin.
So Joe Stepniak tied for 4th. With 5% of the Megapod, he takes home $331. All right, nice finish for Brendan. Shoots 234 with his handicap 265. That was a great game between those two. 265, 252. Brendan Guthner of Evergreen defeats Joe Stepniak of Westminster. And over here, Brandon Vonkam shoots, 190 scratch with his handicap. Shoots, what about 240? 236?
Yeah. I think he's going to need to fill 20 here.
Okay. Oh. Let's see what we got here. You can go 214.
No, I think he lost.
214 and 23, 237.
Oh yeah, he can still go.
Yeah, he's got to go spare strike. And
Oh,
yeah. Don't say it.
All right.
Don't say it.
He missed this earlier. Let's just say
Yes,
that.
he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that because I had a flashback.
A flashback.
Don't hook.
All right.
He's got 2.
94. Strike to win.
There's a 50% chance based off prior shots that he's going to, if he doesn't strike, he's going to leave 9.
Of course. Of course. It's Sunday.
It's Mother's
And
Day.
I am cursed.
No, Poggy, not yet.
I am cursed. I am. I really am.
But if this is a 9,
Yeah.
yeah. If this is a 9,
There's extended play. How's that?
all right.
Big ball.
If it's an 8 pin, I'm leaving.
Well, what do you
Got to
think?
happen.
Ooh, how about that? Totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. 211, 234. Brandon Vonkam, 191. And he shoots 236. Wow. What a match, folks. What a match. So, our semifinal match when we come back is Brandon Vonkamp against Brendan Guthner. We're going to do that on lanes 7 and 8. And we'll be back in just a moment. We'll reseed and get it all set up for you. You're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour here at Bolero Wheat Ridge in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, just west of Denver. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Lasource, Al Wolf. We're here at Bolero Wheat Ridge Lanes, just west of Denver. This is our semifinal match for our top 8 finals format. And what we have left is Brendan Guthner, our second-seeded player out of Evergreen, taking on Brandon Vonkamp, who was our fifth-seeded player. He's won a couple matches, and Brandon's won one, so we're down to 3 players, folks. The winner of this match is going to take on our tournament leader, Isaac Hernandez of Commerce City. So Brendan Guthner is going to lead the match. They're going to shake hands, and we're going to come back and start. And there is a 14-pin difference in handicap to Brendan Vonkamp's favor. Brendan making his first. You got Brendan and Brandon. This is going to be fun.
I know.
I'm going to see how many alcoholic beverages you've had.
I haven't had
Because
any.
if you can keep this going and not screw it up like I'm already doing, and I'm just that way normally, we'll be okay.
I'm just going to, not enunciate the first vowel so you don't know the difference.
There you go. Oh, pulled it. All right, 5'8", 5'9". Did I tell you the story about Brendan? Brandon? He was a professional motocross racer.
Oh, yeah.
And broke his back in 4 places.
Ouch.
Probably a compound fracture in his leg. I mean, he was in deep doo-doo. And his rehab, believe it or not, was bowling.
Interesting.
But it was because of the way he bowled.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always been this way. And it's been years now, of course, and he's, thank God, doing much better. But he got into it. And he joined a summer league here. It's got to be 6-8 years ago now. And I was coming in and I was watching him. And we got to talking, and I got him in the club. And, he's been bowling just about every week since then.
Yeah, you will not find too many, higher level motocross people bowling with their thumbs.
Yeah.
Because their wrists.
Oh, good point.
Tore up.
Yes, good point. I didn't even think of that.
I have 2 or 3 that come into the shop a lot. And
Okay.
They literally can't grasp
It makes
the bowling ball
sense.
because their wrists get beat up from the handlebars.
Sure. But in any event, he's made a hell of a comeback.
Yeah.
And in fact, Mike Vasquez years ago, he was just dirt biking.
Look,
I believe he was out in Morrison. Unfortunately, he throws that ditch.
that
And
makes it about a tie game.
There was a dead tree under some high brush that he didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
So he hits it hard over the handlebars, and he lands on a tree stump in his back. So he fractures, I think he fractured his pelvis and all kinds of stuff. And there was talk that he might be paralyzed.
Yeah.
And he's come back very well, but that was scary. Can you imagine that, doing 50, 60 miles an hour and then hitting a falling tree in some high brush? You got no clue. You had no defense. You're gone. So.
Yeah, there are times when I come back from a mountain trip bike ride and use, Strava or any of the tracking apps and look back at max speed, and I was like, man, if I would have hit something doing 40.
Yeah, sure.
What do you do?
Yeah. Not much on a bike. So now he throws the first one in the ditch.
He's already behind.
Yeah. And then he chops that one. So 15 in the second, unfortunately. And Brennan takes this. Ooh, pick the click. That's right. Didn't even think about it. Wow. How he turned. Yeah, okay. There we go. Oh, very nice shot.
That puts him quite a bit in the
Well,
lead.
normally, we do the pick the click, and of course, with me running around, we didn't do that. But the funny part is, Jason Moore is trying to drum up non-support for Isaac Hernandez to get him motivated to win. I like the reverse psychology that's involved here. He's feed him with about 6 or 8 beers, get him stupid, and then what the hell? I'll go for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you say that you talk about house bowlers. All 3 of our remaining players are all ball leagues here. So interesting. Oop, inside. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ow.
At least he was on a strike, so he doesn't have to take a 6 count there.
Yeah. All right, going for the spare. All right, gets the 2. So he's got 46 in the third with an open. And Brandon would have to get at least a double. But it's early in the match. A lot of things can happen.
Yeah, I think we just turned it into a scratch match, basically.
Almost, yeah.
At this point.
That looked pretty good. Ooh. All right. I like his form. I like his release. Very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Stays pretty solid. Head doesn't move.
Yeah, in Denver there's a lot, but he's like a 0 negative-ish tilter, which means the ball is going to read the pattern very well. So 90% of the time it's going to be to his advantage. When things start getting a little dried up like they are right now, his ball is going to read as soon as it sees something because it's already in a position that it's going to start doing that. So as they start to break down, he's got to really get ahead of it.
So now if you're drilling equipment for him,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do to help him in that situation as far as how would you map that ball out? What kind of ball would you recommend, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, all of the balls serve their purpose, but in general, the lower the pin is, the quicker it will respond to things, or the earlier it will roll up. So just keeping the balls laid out in ways that won't accentuate what he's already doing.
Okay.
And there's times where on shorter stuff where you want the ball to do that, so you might get into stuff like that. And I really think there's this, without the thumb or a weight hole being put in a ball, the people that don't use their thumb like him are going to, be way more limited in what they can do in symmetric bowling balls. But with the asymmetric bowling balls, will still be able to use the lighter sides of the core to simulate a hole.
Okay, I got you.
And the end of the day, that's what they were trying to do, is make it so that they had a little bit more control over that intermediate diff, which is what makes the ball flare faster or move across faster. So on a symmetric ball, it ends up being the thumb, and that little dot that's by your thumb on an asymmetric ball is the same thing.
Okay. Oh, he pulled it again. Very, very lucky to leave. It's a 3-pin.
But two-handers and symmetric balls, there's no intermediate diff because the fingers don't really hit the core. So you just have the top to bottom diff, so it's not really chasing to a point per se. I think all of the tour two-handers still use a weight hole, which is somewhere around where a thumb would normally be for that purpose.
Okay.
So in 2020, you'll see a lot more. I mean, on tour, you might see guys with weaker cover stocks on asymmetric balls that are two-handers because they can't put that hole there anymore. So they'll use the undrilled mass bias of the ball as that thumb hole. They'll move it
Okay.
around.
Okay. But in either event, there's going to be a lot of experimentation going on.
There already is for sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, up 14 early. Scratch.
Can't say I didn't see that.
So that was actually they were absolutely tied with the handicap difference going into this frame. So right now, technically, Brendan Guthner is down 1 pin with the 9 count. And then, of course, it all depends what Brandon does in frame number 4. If he strikes, he gets that 1 pin advantage. If he gets 9, they're tie again. And regardless of who wins, they're going to be getting 20 to 30 pins from Mr. Hernandez. All right, good shot by Brendan. All right. Again, if for those of you that have bowled at AMF Littleton over the years at C470 and University, the remodel's just about done, and I'll tell you, it's different. What a difference when you walk into the bowling center. So even if you're not able to make it down next week, stop in, talk to James Ertz Bischoff, general manager, and take a look. Pretty impressive. The big thing that I saw was the video wall, and what they told me was they can actually use Scott and put it on YouTube, and they can put the telecast up on the video wall. Pretty wild. So we'll see. We'll have to check that out, Scott.
That'll be interesting.
But of course, we don't want it all over the place. We'll have it,
It'll be quite delayed.
6 or 8 lanes away, so it doesn't drive them crazy. But
the delay
pretty
will be
cool.
if they're doing our live feed through YouTube up on their board, they're going to be about 4 minutes behind.
Oh, that much?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which will be fun. You'll get
Yeah.
to see the replay of your shot every time.
Yeah, really.
I have a much better way of getting them a feed if that's really what they want to do.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to stop down there during the week and give James a shout.
Oh, no.
Whoa, okay. Kicks that 7 out.
Of all the bad breaks I got, I only left the 7-10 twice.
Oof. Along with all those other great
I almost made it.
non-carries you had, my God. I thought I was snake bit.
Yeah, there was one other time that I think it was here even where it was just like no matter what I did, couldn't get the pins to go down. You could really see the negative tilt on that ball if you watch it.
All right,
It's kind of
69
leaning in
the
a little bit
fifth.
instead of out.
And Brendan can go 85. Take a two-pin lead with a strike here with the handicap difference. So close match. Again, the winner moves on, takes on Isaac Hernandez, our top-seeded player. Third place today with 10% of the Megapod, $562. So that's the worst that either one of these two gentlemen are going to take home, which is not bad. A little bit better, but he keeps wanting to tug it.
Yeah, I don't think he tugged. If you watch the ball in the first 20 feet, it goes from black and green, I'm not sure what ball that is, to orange very early. And that indicates, it's really hard to see that as a bowler, but that indicates that the ball is actually reading the lane there.
Okay.
And that's why we're seeing the strikes go away, is that front part of the lane. I mean, when you don't bowl a lot, and obviously where we're sitting makes it easier, you don't see that happen. So you think you're pulling it, but really you're just not on top of oil anymore.
But it gives you that impression.
Yep, and then you'll push one, and then it won't make it back to the head pin.
Right.
Because it's running out of energy.
we've got another Stepniak.
Oh, no. Yeah, they are kind of chasing this right now. Both getting 9s
Hey, it's
and
the
8s.
third one so far this game. What can I say?
He just loves to haunt me.
Right. See,
That
that ball,
was-
that
that-
ball
yeah,
didn't do it. He must
right.
have moved.
Yes.
That ball stayed greenish black almost all the way down
We're
there.
gonna have to find out what that is.
Yeah,
He's like,
right.
"Hey, just look at the color change. You
I
can
think it's a
tell
roto
whether
grip ball, but I
you
could
can
be
tell.
wrong.
Oh, maybe no rules. Maybe
Yeah, I think so.
103 in the sixth with a strike in the seventh for Brendan Guthner, and Brandon gonna stay in this match here.
See, his just did the
Crosses
same thing.
over and almost carries, leaves
It's a
a
little
9.
harder to see with his ball, but it's
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I saw Isaac practicing with the high road X down here, so I think he's anticipating that happening. So
Okay.
you can get a little further left with that.
Wow. One pin game. That's providing, of course, that he makes this. And he does. All right. One pin difference. Brendan Guthner, 134 to Brandon Von Kam's 133. 3 frames to go. Advantage Guthner because of the strike in the seventh.
And this
But
is that,
very, very tight match.
like if you were bowling and you saw that happen, one thing that you could do is, what's happening is the ball's tilting up quicker, so you could tilt it away more to overcome that so that it just is getting back online in the mid lane instead of over reading the lane. His negative tilt is going to amplify every time it happens.
Okay.
So
Big
that
ball.
one he got straighter and
Yep.
got back into oil quicker.
108 in the seventh, strike in the eighth. Not going away. Good match. The double here by Brendan Guthner would sure help his cause.
Mm-hmm. The strikes helped us get off the ties a little bit there. That's good. Just saying.
See, I'm not the only one.
Shut up. I got Jethro Bodine Stepniak to my left.
Again, you could see that
Nice.
one
Oh, can't get to 10.
a little cleaner in the middle part of the lane.
He's still, with a spare, he's still up a pin. But now the advantage goes over to Mr. Von Kam. No doubter. All right.
And on that ball, you could see that it was tilted to the right, which is the normal positive tilt, as people would say. And when Brendan does it, it's to the right, and when Brandon does it, it's to the left. I just wanted to say their names consecutively there, just to prove I could do it.
Yeah, good for you. I've already screwed it up twice, I think. And I know both of the guys, so that's safe. All right, frame number 9. This is big. Whoa, great shot. Great shot. And he needed it, striking a ninth, huge. But
yep.
now, Brandon Von Kam, he gives Max his 198 to Brendan's 203. So right now, Brandon in the driver's seat, a strike here just puts pressure on Mr. Guthner like you would not believe. That was an excellent shot. Actually, both bowlers' last 2 shots were very, very good. This is as far as Brandon has ever gone so far.
Yeah.
He's our only non-champion left.
Oh.
He's a 5. Okay, so he can't double. So now his max is 178
You know,
to Brandon's 203. You know, I never did like you.
I know.
he just wants a drink. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
5-pin.
yeah.
I want that Powerball ticket.
Okay. Or a scratch ticket or something. All right, no problem. Very good.
Yeah,
So
so
128 in the 8th, spare in the 9th.
technically ish tied. Brandon's got a little advantage with the strike.
Yeah.
I should come up with a graphic that shows an arm going up or something. There we go, Al. You were asking for something unique.
Oh, Lord. Somewhere along the line, I have lost control of both of you guys.
Well, that implies you once had control.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good point. All right, frame number 10. Get a mix.
Oh, man.
I thought he was going to carry both of them. I really do.
Yeah. He's
So-
found a way to get to the pocket, but again, the ball's just reading so much early. It just doesn't have much to keep going down lane.
Yeah. So 147 in the ninth. Best he can do is 167. Wow.
This is going to hook a bunch
Pin
late.
count on both of these bowlers
Yeah.
in the 10th frame is going to be huge. Very, very close. Okay, big fill ball. Sit. Beautiful. Oh, 10 pin. 166. Excellent game. Shoots 211 with a handicap. Now,
Spare
63,
and 7.
83, 84, 14. He just needs spare and good count.
Spare and 7.
Yeah, double, it's over.
Chris got 7 on his last ball.
You had to bring that up, right? You guys are you're just throwing stuff at me, begging me to stay here till God knows when.
Hey, my wife is in town right now, so I want to get home too. She leaves on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, she's back out. Big. Come on. Oh, what a great shot.
That was pretty good.
What a great shot. Okay. 63. Yeah, you're right. Spare and 7? Spare and 8.
It's 8. We'll say 8.
Okay, we'll say
Maybe
8.
9. He needs 9. Just be real safe.
Shut up. Just shut up.
8, and he's still alive.
And 7, you both will have mysterious illnesses creep upon you.
Yeah, Nick's going to try to figure out how to get the final live because both of us will be gone.
Very good.
All right.
Okay. 4. Yep. 8's a goodie.
Yep. He has also not gotten a 7 count yet this game. Just saying, the odds aren't good. He has a 6 count, though. Let's not do that again. He does not want that this time.
Joe's
woke-
about a
he-
minute and a half
he
late.
woke up, yeah.
Yeah, he figured it
It's
out.
it's a tape delay. Yeah. Joe's on permanent tape delay, by the way.
All right. Don't go in the face.
He gave it room. Beautiful.
There we go.
That's enough.
See, there's the 9. I told you he was going to get
Yep.
9.
Wow, excellent match. 213, 211 with handicap. So Brandon Vongham goes home in third place, but with 10% of the megapot, he's taking home $562. And when we come back, Brendan Guthner of Evergreen is going to be taking on Isaac Hernandez of Commerce City. And again, you're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Bolero Wheat Ridge, and we're on the Marshall-Holman pattern. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Lasource, Al Wolf. We're here at Bolero Wheat Ridge Lanes, just west of Denver. This is our championship match. Brendan Guthner of Evergreen looking for title number 3 up against Isaac Hernandez of Commerce City. Isaac's looking for title number 7. Both bowlers have bowled well all weekend, and Isaac has elected that Brendan lead the match, so he's going to be spotting them 21 pins. Gentlemen, shake hands, and here we go. It's killing me.
I hope not.
Yeah, please. Joe, that's why you're a very lonely man.
Two marks.
Yep. Or opening a double. And, wow, he's playing with leaving himself in serious trouble here.
I mean, you can't. He probably needs to move left a little bit and just not get fast. He'll get hold.
But you know what it is? In his mind, if he moves left, he's afraid that the ball will not finish.
Yes.
You know that.
Yeah, which is the thing to do when you're in these types of situations.
Sure.
Throw it a little too hard.
Yep. All right, no problem with a spare. So, Brendan Guthner,
High Road X
frame number 1.
or Idle Pearl. Flip a coin. That's what he's going to throw. Which one?
I would say Idle Pearl. And
He's got 2 High Road X's in there.
does he really?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Though. And what did he pick?
High Road X.
High Road X. Okay.
Which means he's going to try to give it a little more room, but we'll see.
Ooh, wow. Oops. 6, 7, 10. I've had the pleasure over the last 5 or 6 years to bowl in the NFL Scratch League with Isaac and Chris Nichols and Michelle O'Malley. And him and Chris Nichols were battling all season because
They were tied.
I know. We go, you know, the top bowler who is the guy that you would pick just to get under the cap, that was me because I was so bad. And then Michelle and then obviously Isaac and Chris battled for the anchor position all year. And at one point they were almost tied to the pin at 218.
I think going into the last game of the season, they were
think so.
tied.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
pretty crazy. But we had a lot of fun. Finished tied for 5th in that 32-team league, which is pretty awesome. All right, good comeback. Gets the strike. Again, if you're going to open, frame 1's where you want to do it.
But now he's down 3. He needs to get a couple in a row here to get rid of that.
Yep. Isaac also, he works at Total Bowling Dynamics, a pro shop at Arapahoe Bowl. Tyson Lundquist and Steve Badavinik are the owners, and Isaac's one of the coaches, ball drillers. In effect, the same thing that you do.
Yep.
Nope. Yeah, high again. 6-10. Down 30. Both bowlers have, it's been a while since both of these bowlers have won. Believe it or not, Isaac's going on almost 4 years. At one point he was on the show almost every other week, but chops the 6 off to 10. My favorite spare, by the way. I can do that 99% of the time. And I'll get back to that. Let's see if he can come back here.
Looks like he's moved a little left with his feet. See if he gets this ball to get a little cleaner down lane.
And it looks like he gave it a little more room right.
So there's this.
And actually, not too bad.
I think he was a little fast with it. Just the tough thing with two-handers is when you try to hook it more, you also, like, your arm's moving faster, so you throw it faster. And that's like Belmonte, Simonson are really good at getting the ball to spin faster without throwing it any harder.
Got it.
And for those of you that think two-handers have an advantage, it is way harder than using your thumb. There's so many more variables.
Yeah, but all the players that want to do it, all they think of is rev rate.
Yeah.
You know, they think that's the.
And you can 100%, more often than not, get a higher rev rate.
Yeah.
I say that because I can't. I have more revs with my thumb in the ball, which is rare, but.
And you're not lying. I mean, the ball's a blur coming off your hand just about every time anyway. All right, so Brendan, 27 in the second, spare in the third. Isaac with a mark can cut 2 pins off the deficit at double 12. And an excellent shot. Good recovery on that lane where he went through the face frame 1. So now he's 12 off of the 21. Only down 9. And that's what the higher average opponent needs to do. He's got to get into that handicap differential as fast as he can, because the longer you let a bowler hang around, you and I both know the breaks become huge. The non-breaks become huge. So
Yeah, you want to get first to 3 in a row,
Yep.
which he did.
here's Isaac, open 3-bagger.
Yep. Pretty much erases it there.
Yeah.
Even if Brendan got that spare,
Yeah.
it would've, put it basically to scratch already, and we're not
But
even halfway.
when I like the comeback that Isaac did on lane 8 to get that double in the third frame. But if he's lined up on both lanes now, Brendan has got no shot.
Yeah, I think he felt good about 7, but 8,
Yeah.
I mean, seeing the ball go through the
Just
pins
as
like
I say that, he throws a great shot.
know.
All right, so 47 in the third with a strike. A double here would help tremendously.
On 8, Isaac couldn't have been happy with how the ball went through the pins, so he's probably still going to make a little move off that and try to get it to have a little more energy at the pin deck. I think this will be the last ABT that they don't use their new flex machine for here.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the new walker. And Dean did not want to change machines until all the fall winter leagues were over.
Correct, yeah.
Which is the right way to do it.
We're the...
Nice.
So there's
Goes back with a double.
the way you program is, or the way you simulate patterns is with Kasi on a computer, which we have in the shop. So we're helping Dean out and getting him in there and helping him learn that software so that you can get the patterns in the machine faster. So we've been, if you bowl the shootout league here, sorry about that, because we're trying to dial in that machine on that league. So, which is fine.
Great. That's when you want to do it. Okay, Isaac Hernandez looking for 4 in a row. Oh, and he can't get the 7 out.
No.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Just can't get the 7 to move.
He's throwing a near all black bowling ball, but you could still see that ball roll a little earlier than he probably wants to see.
Well, getting back to Isaac, I think it's been almost 4 years since he's won.
Yeah.
But again, he was, for a while there, he's gone second, third, fourth, second. I mean, he was,
Yeah.
I think people are getting tired of seeing him there for a while. But, he bowled a couple, not very good games, but then he bowled some tremendous games that got beat. But that's bowling.
Yeah.
In fact, I think a couple of them he went up against Frankie Gaccioni.
Yep. That was, I think that was here.
It might have been.
It was on one of the shorter patterns.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Ooh,
I remember that
very
because
lucky.
I believe I lost to Mark Fritchell
Okay.
the first round of 8. Or 6, I guess.
So with that count, Isaac's got 106 in the 5th. No problem with the spare. All right. So to stay with him scratch, Brendan needs this one.
If he gets this one, we're basically back to where we started.
Yes.
But as getting that flex, we've learned a lot. Well, I've learned a lot. Dean probably knew most of it, but there's a good reason why they call it the flex. It is, you can really do just about anything with it.
Yeah. Ooh. Good shot. 10 pin. Down 10 scratch. So he's still up 11 with the spare.
I would also say that there's this conception that the Boleros and the AMFs aren't about bowling, and I will say that there is no reason why you buy a flex
Right.
If that's true.
That is correct. You're absolutely right. But yet, unfortunately, the way they go about handling league situations when they want to pretty much keep the weekends open that have traditionally been pretty strong
I mean,
bowling nights.
I grew up in a bowling alley on Saturday night.
Sure.
It's just the way it was.
So, you know, case in point, they had that huge mixed league at Bolero Westminster on Friday night and basically told them, you guys aren't coming back.
Yeah. That's an interesting space, too.
Good shot. But again, you know, there's a way to go about that. And, of course, some people, they can only bowl that night. I understand that, and there's nothing you can do. But I'm sure a fair amount of those people, if they made some moves within the Monday-Thursday situation, they could have probably not made it so abrasive, let's say. Which gives them that negative thing toward league play versus open play.
Yeah, and I think that just the development going on around that center.
Absolutely.
Has got Bolero trying to figure out what they need to do to.
Well, and
make
you know,
that work
because for a while, that area it had developed in the 70s, into the 80s, early 80s.
With the mall that used to
be
there.
Right, the mall that used to be there, and then it kind of stagnated. And now, of course, with the economy, things are picking up. They're going to do that.
Downtown
couple
Westminster,
phase, right next to the bowling center. And they want to be a part of that. And absolutely, sure, you want to be a part of that. No doubt about it.
It's tough for sure.
Looks pretty good. Yes, sir. All right, big double. Big double. Lead is down to 1. Thanks, Legislature.
Yeah. 60% chance, huh?
Yeah, well, step back. Come on, Brendan. Let's match him. See what he can do. Get that lead back to 11. Both bowlers were 1 open. Beautiful. Good shot. So both bowlers finishing strong. Brendan's up 11. He can take the lead up to 21 with another strike here in frame 9. Isaac would basically have to punch, and then he would have to match him. This game, this is another one that could get down to the fill ball.
Yeah. When that's the case, the fill ball doesn't always carry.
Very true. Although I love to say that.
I know, the fill ball always carries, only after the one before it didn't.
Okay. Wow. That's 3 great shots right there, folks. Wow. He matched Isaac, and he said, okay, buddy. You put the heat on me. I came back. Now it's your turn. Okay, he can max out at 246. Brendan can max out at 236, but again, a 21-pin difference. So they both punch. Brendan wins by 11. So every shot is critical at this point.
With this strike, the odds of a tie goes way below 60%.
Well, you'll have to shoot Joe a little memo on that, stick it to his forehead. And beautiful. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing. That's what I love about Isaac. He's ice water.
Yeah.
He does. He's done it so many times that it's auto. It's automatic. That doesn't mean he wins all the time, but he's going to go up and he's going to execute.
Yep.
Every strike he throws puts more heat on Brendan.
Yeah. I think the first one's really important.
Yes. Will it hold? Now, a little flat. All right. So the best you can do is 225 and 10 for 235. Yeah, basically Brendan's just going to mark.
Yeah.
All right, Isaac makes the spare. So 225 and 10 if he strikes for 235. Second place today, $1,024. And our winner today, $2,048. And because of our turnout this weekend, even on Mother's Day, first place next week will be much more at Littleton. FBAC.
Every time. Only when the previous one didn't. See, that's a perfect example.
I know. Let's see. How can he not win?
9 out.
9 out. We give him 75, 94, 03. Yes. Wow. Okay. Well, he did force him to mark then. I didn't even think he needed a mark, to be honest with you, Al.
Yep.
But the last time Brendan was in this position, he was money.
Yep.
And he has thrown 3 great shots all of a sudden.
Another good one.
There he is. Excellent. Earned every bit of it.
Yep.
So now he goes 205. They can actually both scratch. They can both shoot 225. But with the handicap difference, Brendan is your champion. Isaac Hernandez, great weekend, second place. Goes home with $1,024. And he won the scratch sweeper, second in the handicap sweeper, so he had a great weekend.
By the way, 9 out would have been a tie.
What? Don't say that. What? Oh, my God. I don't know if I got to take that kind of pressure. Great shot.
It won't carry because it doesn't need to. Oh, it did.
Neener. Throws the last 6, folks, to win title number 3. Isaac Hernandez. He appreciates a great game.
Beat him scratch.
Second place wins $1,024. And Brendan Guthner, title number 3 with a great 236. And 31 for 267 over Isaac's 235. He takes home $2,048. And when we come back, we'll talk at him real quick because we do have some time, and then we'll mosey on out.
Good as always.
You too.
See you, buddy.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment, folks. Stay tuned. Let's see what Brendan has to say about that last 6 in a row. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Source with my 3-time ABT champion, Brendan Guthner out of Evergreen, just up on the foothills here west of Denver. And during the break, Brendan and I are talking about that actually both players in the championship match have gone through a drought period. Of course, Brendan actually took 5 years off his last title way back in, what do you figure, 2002?
2012.
2012, I'm sorry.
2012.
So 7 years, and that was at AMF Broadway, which no longer exists. Used to be on South Broadway past Bellevue. But and Isaac, I think his was 4 years at Coal Creek. So both you guys were hungry, but you threw great matches, both you guys. So unfortunately, I forged Isaac's name and I took the money because he didn't win.
Oh, yeah. As long as I get some money, I'm okay. I really just wanted another shirt.
I just wanted another shirt.
I'm tired of only having 2. I lost one.
Yeah, time for a wardrobe change.
Yep.
All right. Now, You're very fortunate, of course. You know, I talk all the time about how fortunate league bowlers are that we have so many guys that operate pro shops that are so into it. They're so good. Isaac obviously does a fantastic job at Total Bowling Dynamics at Arapahoe. Al Wolf here at Best Pro Shop here at Bolero Wheat Ridge. You know, you got Tabucci, you got Rob Warner, you got Sean Lee. I mean, you're actually very lucky.
Oh, for sure.
There's major cities that have like one ball driller that is half a brain, and that's horrible because they're missing so much. You miss that learning of what the subtle differences are. You know, and it's great that when you see guys like Isaac and other players that really put the time in and know how to map a ball out, know what it does, know the dynamics of the ball, and when you come in and say, "Hey, man, I like lost my carry. What do I do?" And they're able to sit there and go through it with you, watch you bowl, and get it done. So, you know, kudos to Isaac and all the guys out there because they do a great job. But and kudos to you.
Yeah.
6 in a row. Both of you got lined up late. You know, and if Isaac carries that first one in the 10th, then it really gets interesting. But you threw 6 great shots at the end, and you deserve everything you get. But a good weekend for both of you, as I expected, because you're both great players. And now you got 3, and 3 more. You catch him.
This is my first Classic one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because that's right with all that time off.
I came in Masters, and
right.
I'm still not back where I used to be.
Yeah, you're not. But you are getting there.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, I think physically you're much more fluid. I think you're not as worried about the consequences as you were before.
I was nervous for some reason. I don't know why, and then I'm just like, okay, do your thing.
Yeah. You just got to go out and execute. That's all you can do. Because sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's bowling, you know. But congratulations to both of you again. Next week we're at Littleton on Python. And then the following week is going to be our big Memorial Day Singles Classic at Holiday. This year I'm going to change it up. I'm actually going to do block qualifying like we do in the regional.
Okay.
I think that's fun. And I think, especially on a 4-day weekend, if you guys, like say you got stuff planned and you can come in Friday night where there's maybe just 2 squads, but I'm going to make a cut, and then you're in, and you're good through Monday.
Yep.
Not only that, you can come back if you just want to bowl a squad for sweepers or side pots, get a look at transitioning. You can do that. I just think the opportunities are better, and it makes for a lot more fun. So we're going to give it a shot, see what happens.
I just hope it's not too humid in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's not go there. Yeah, because that can get brutal.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? You know, they do have new property management owners there.
Yeah, I've heard they're working through
and
stuff.
they're putting some serious money in the Holiday, which is needed.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for Derek and Cindy because, hell, that parking lot alone got to be.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have to start from scratch. I mean, it's almost you can't. Yeah, pretty much. But you know, they're not afraid to do that, which is cool. You know, so I'm very happy for Derek Fawcett and Cindy Gerard. I only wish the best for Holiday because, again, that's a great league house.
It
Always
is.
has been. Looking forward to getting there once again. So on behalf of Al Wolf, you two gentlemen, Isaac Hernandez, Brendan Guthner, producer Scott Sledgester, I'm Nicholas Source, and we'll see you next week at AMF Broadway Broadway. See, you got to be saying Broadway. AMF Littleton. Have a great week, folks. See ya.